Leaky gut and leaky brain. Many of you listening to this have probably heard of leaky gut, but have you heard of leaky brain? It's a thing, and it's been a thing for a long time. We're really starting to understand it right now. So for those of you watching this and maybe have any neurological problems, memory difficulties, concentration, or digestive issues, this is something you're going to want to watch. Before we go any farther, if this is the first time you're on the channel and you want to learn more health-related strategies and solutions, make sure you click subscribe because there's more and more content coming out every week. You're not going to want to miss it. So leaky gut, for those of you who have never heard of leaky gut, I'm going to get a little introduction here. Leaky gut is where you end up, and it's also called intestinal permeability. It's where you end up, and I'm going to use my tie as a prop here. It's when there's tears and injuries and holes on the intestinal lining. That's really what it is. And then when you're eating food protein, these proteins cross from your gut, cross out of your gut into your bloodstream. And these proteins should not be in your bloodstream. And then when they get into your bloodstream, they can cause a lot of symptoms. They can cause digestive issues, concentration difficulties. There's so many different things that leaky gut can cause. Making your autoimmune disorder worse, that's a guarantee. And it even can cause autoimmunity. So that's leaky gut or intestinal permeability. There's lab tests to test this. There'll be a link in the description that you can actually test if you have leaky gut. A lot of people don't even have symptoms, or their symptoms are very subtle. So that's leaky gut. Most people have heard of, but leaky brain, it's kind of the same thing, but it's in the brain. Leaky brain, if you suspect you have leaky brain, you probably have to have leaky gut already. Not always. Traumas, infections, and different things like that can cause leaky brain. So the brain is wrapped in this. I like to say it's like cheesecloth. The brain has this wrapping around it, and it protects it filters the blood coming to the brain. I'm simplifying this, but just so you can kind of understand. And so there's something called there's a gut-blood barrier, and then there's a brain-blood barrier. And this cheesecloth, if you will, this filter, this barrier can get damaged. So you end up with holes in this barrier, inflammatory issues, concussions, a leaky gut going on for a long enough time, allergies, autoimmune disorders can all cause leaky brain. The problem with leaky brain is if there's anything going on in your blood, those inflammatory problems in your blood, those inflammatory cytokines, they'll go straight into your brain and they'll cause havoc in your brain. They cause a lot of brain inflammation and many different neurological disorders. So if you have leaky gut or digestive problems or autoimmunity or any of that, and concentration difficulties or history of concussions, this is probably something you want to try. It's pretty safe, but look into it. And if you have a natural doctor you're working with, by all means, maybe talk to them about it. But 900 milligrams, it's kind of the place to start. 900 milligrams, or 1,000 milligrams. Say 1,000 milligrams of GABA, true GABA, not no pharma GABA or anything like, just normal GABA. You take that and take it at a time where you don't have to do anything. Because GABA is it's a calming neurotransmitter. And true GABA is very, very big. It's a big molecule. It shouldn't get through your blood-brain barrier. So if your blood-brain barrier is intact, you'll take 900 milligrams of true GABA and you might feel a little bit more relaxed, but you won't fall asleep. If your blood-brain barrier is compromised, there's holes in it, you have leaky brain, you take that 1,000 milligrams of true normal GABA. You take that, it's big enough, it'll get through the holes in your blood-brain barrier and you will fall asleep. So you wouldn't want to take it in the morning or at noon or at work or something where you need to do something. Take it maybe in the evening. And if you fall asleep, it's okay, you'll just fall asleep. It'll come on fast. Falling asleep, that's really what will happen. It's called a GABA challenge. You could probably Google it, but this is the strategy, really. It's the same thing. Just take 1,000 milligrams. If you suspect it, if you get a little bit tired, that's not going to be really a positive indication of leaky brain. But if you just like, oh my goodness, I'm so tired, I'm having a hard time to get to bed, that's probably an indicator of leaky brain. And then what you can do is, work with a natural health doctor, reach out to us, we can help. And start working on these barriers, the intestinal barrier, working on inflammatory responses in the body, doing all of that, and then you challenge it again. You can heal leaky gut and you can heal leaky brain, but if you have any brain autoimmunity like MS or any of that, history of concussions, white lesions on your brain that they found in an MRI, that they say it's an old lesion, any of those things, you want to make certain that leaky brain is corrected, because it just creates more brain problems down the road and develops new brain problems and new nervous system problems. So hopefully this was good. There is also a lab test from Cyrex. It's called Array 2. No, it's not Array 2. But anyway, there'll be a link in the description of all our Cyrex tests and laboratory tests on our page. You can actually order a blood-brain barrier permeability test. It's actually a blood test to really confirm leaky brain. The GABA challenge is kind of a thing you can explore. It's not as going to be as accurate as the blood test, but go buy a bottle of GABA if you're concerned. Ideally, you're working with a provider before you do that. GABA is usually very, very neutral, and true GABA shouldn't even do much to you. Remember, because it's a big molecule, it shouldn't be getting through the blood-brain barrier and making you fall asleep. True GABA can make you a little bit, drowsy or relaxed, but it shouldn't make you fall asleep. So that's the difference. I think there's 1% of people that it can stimulate. So unless you fall into that 1 in 100, GABA shouldn't stimulate you. But anyway, hope this was helpful. If you got information from it, or some people with those disorders that are trying to heard of leaky gut, they believe they have leaky gut or been diagnosed with leaky gut, explore leaky brain. It's a big deal, and it's very important. Your brain is everything. So anyway, hope that was helpful. I look forward to talking to you next day. We're going to talk about the why to another health problem and more strategies. Have a great day.